wrestling fans, welcome to another special edition of the Unsquared Circle. We are your hosts. I am Wrestling White.
And I'm Bobby Black.
React.
And apparently, last month we did a report that we were going to do a Q&A soon, and really the only question we've gotten for a Q&A was, what's wrong with the WWE? We've got an answer for you. So would you like to start, Mr. White?
Of course,
React.
I'll go ahead and start off. Well, what do I really think is wrong? Let's see. I'm just talking about it. I've just been thinking. It's like, you know, back in the day, I used to love wrestling, and I don't like it as much as I used to. And I'm not even speaking on behalf of everyone I know, because almost everyone I know who used to watch wrestling doesn't watch it that much anymore. But I quit watching it, well, for the most part, because it's getting repetitive, it's getting boring. See, I miss the old days, back from the 80s when I was young and stuff, with larger-than-life characters. They had some decent storylines, and you had some good superstars. Even the second-rate superstars were actually really good. They had some good matches, some good wrestling. It just wasn't crap. And then, you know, you had the Attitude Era. Well, actually, at WCW before the Attitude Era, and then that started bringing out some competition from the WWE with the Attitude Era, and it was just a Monday Night War. That is another era of wrestling that was just awesome, that will never ever be duplicated, because they don't have the stars that they did back in the day. And some of these stars now, I mean, sometimes history has a way of repeating itself in a way with some of these things, because we had Hulk Hogan, who couldn't wrestle that good, but he was very marketable. We had his personal favorite, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the guy who drinks a lot of Steve Weisers, you know, and that's the bottom line. Stone Cold said so. So he was very marketable, but he was entertaining. I liked him. He cracked me up. The Rock. Who cannot forget The Rock? There is no superstar that has...
Oh, you mean Dwayne Johnson?
Oh, that's right. He doesn't go by...
Oh, he doesn't go by The Rock anymore. We can't talk about that.
And now it's like... And now what do they have now?
John Cena. By the way, that was for you, CVJ. John Cena.
Oh, I have a few ones myself. Speaking of which, it's been my next superstar. They need to have more people like the Faker Taker. The Faker Taker is good. Not only is he marketable, but he can actually wrestle. But unfortunately, he's getting up there in age, just like my favorite wrestler of all time, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
They're all balding and getting old, and their knees are giving out, and their hips are breaking, and it's a tragedy on television. It really is.
Yeah, HBK is going to start standing for the hair balding kid. You haven't noticed it already. I mean, Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler, but I mean, he's just not how it was back in the day. It's like when Undertaker and Shawn Michaels are gone, who's going to be there? Triple H. It's going to matter of time until he blows out another quad and he leaves.
And plus Triple H isn't as marketable as like Cena and The Rock and Stone Cold and Hogan. Like, Triple H is a good wrestler and a good wrestler space, but outside of wrestling, he's not very marketable. He's just the guy who looks like Thor.
Yeah. Thankfully, he's not playing Thor. He looks like Thor, but if you saw him in Blade Trinity, he can't act. I am a Thor! I have the hammer! My sledgehammer! Where is Ares? Where is my brother-in-law? Loki McMahon. Shano Loki. Back to the serious matters. It's just, wrestling isn't as entertaining as it once was. You got John Cena, but I can't stand seeing it because, you know, yeah, you can't see me. It's more like...
You can't see no talent.
But see no talent, you know, Doc Demographic, that's funny from y'all.
Yeah, that's a major plug for you guys, because we like you guys. You guys are great. You're
like, even with the divas. I mean, I personally love...
Dancing Diva Contest!
I personally like this stuff. I love that part of the Attitude Era with Sunny and... Well, actually, she wasn't there, really. But it was Sable and them. And then it's like, they left. They actually knew how to wrestle a little bit. And then, after... The thing... Okay, you know what? Long story short, number one thing that ruined professional wrestling was... I don't know, it was 2000 or 2001. For the day Vincent Kennedy McMahon the WCW. That was indeed the darkest day of wrestling, because I knew from that day on, wrestling was going to get so boring, so crap, and so repetitive that, you know, because he had no competition, and competition brings out the best. Because, come on, wrestling viewers out there, how many of you back from 97 to 2001 like to flip it back and forth because it was just that interesting? I mean, it used to be a huge media spectacle, and it's not even that big of a media spectacle anymore.
That's what I did. I used to flip it. Like, I was a flipper back in the day. Like, I used to flip from WCW to Like, okay, I flipped from during WCW's commercials, I flipped to the WWE and watched WWE. Because WWE is entertaining. I just thought WCW was better back then. Better wrestlers, better talent, better gimmicks. You know, WWE was just kind of, or WWF was just kind of like, kind of there.
Yeah, especially, you know? Like, yeah, because I'm the one who got him into wrestling back in middle school. And, like, he just liked the pure wrestling stuff. And I admit, because I was the biggest WWF freak. And it's like, he liked WCW because, I mean, especially back in the day before the NWO truly evolved or actually came about, they actually had some good luchadors, as Mike Tenay would say, the luchadors. But anyways, they had the luchadors. I mean, you had great wrestling. Well, no matter it was the heavyweights, the cruiserweights, the television title, even that was actually decent. I mean, everything about the WCW was pretty decent. And then WWF, you know, the only way they could beat them was just joining Jerry Springer crowd, and that's exactly how they won. No wrestling too much, but they had some good storylines and some good entertainment.
Stone Cold Steve Austin was the tide turner, and well, I guess The Rock too. I guess The Rock was the tide turner in that war too. But one of the major issues that I have with wrestling today is that they have an uneven mic skill versus pure talent ratio in the upper echelon card. Like, you've got guys like, you know, Taker and Shawn, who are really good in the ring and really good on the mic. Or, well, really good in the ring, and Shawn's good on the mic. Taker, probably not so much, but that's why he's not on the mic very much. So, you got now an uneven stack, because you've got guys like Jericho, Orton, Triple H, and then you got guys who have pure talent who are never really up in the main event. And that's guys like Shelton Benjamin, John Morrison, Carlito. The only one who's really ever made it and is Jeff Hardy. He's really struggling to keep his, you know, to get his mic skills better. But, you know, really he's over with the fans and the fans love him. But really, Jeff Hardy's not even that great of a wrestler. I mean, he just jumps off things and hits people, and people love it. And so, you know, he holds his back half the match. So, you know, you can even count him really as not a grade A wrestler.
How about Crappy Manure Poo? I mean, CM Punk.
Oh, Crappy Manure Poo. CM Punk is good. I like CM Punk. I think he could be a great upper card, but I think he's too talented to be in the main event, because he's not what they're looking for. They want them to be, you know, kind of 6'5", you know, or 6'7", athletically stacked, nice build, Randy Orton, Triple H, stuff like that. And you got guys that don't have that build, and he's one of them. You know, he's got the tattoos and the piercings, and, you know, that to the WWE, that doesn't fly. That's not marketable. They couldn't let him beat Batista fair and square. They let him beat JBL fair. I like JBL, but you know what? It's like, and you can't even let him lose the title. Okay, the scramble at Unforgiven. He was, you know, he couldn't even defend his title when he lost it because Orton kicked him in the head. Give me a friggin' break.
I just wish that they would let other people who deserve the title have a freaking title. Even if it's just for a month, at least give it to them.
No, see, I don't think that. I think if they're gonna give somebody who's earned the title, like Jeff Hardy. Okay, as I said before, he may not be that talented of a wrestler, but he earned the title. He worked his butt off. And he got it for a month, and he lost it to Edge, which which Christian should have ran in and interfered. But that's not what happened. I'm still a little bitter. Sorry.